Time now for What the Farage, and today our Nigel and the GB News family infuriated the London media establishment by winning big at the famous Trick Awards, when the showbiz lovies changed the format of their gongs to give all of the power to the viewing public. They clearly had no idea it would mean the People's Channel triumphing over the MSM. The first blow to the out-of-touch media establishment came when our breakfast show won the best multi-channel news programme, gong beeping off competition from the likes of left-wing Channel 4 News and woke ITV's Good Morning Britain. But the real moment of horror for the TV industry's metropolitan lefties came when Farage was crowned Best News Presenter, pipping Susanna Reid and Piers Morgan, as well as Eamon Holmes and Stephen Dixon of this parish. Look.
Winner is Nigel Farage.
And let me tell you, they weren't happy. Nigel joins me live now from his celebratory dinner. And Nigel, look, before you react to today's extraordinary events, I just want to take a look at the shocking reaction to your acceptance speech by London's Liberal elite.
I have to say, I'm really rather proud to have this because I'm a new boy. Only been doing this for a couple of years, so a huge thanks to all those good, ordinary folk who live outside the M25 for voting for me. I suspect that had the industry had the say, I very much doubt I would have won, and I'm certain that 3 GB News presenters would not have been in the shortlist of 5, which should be very instructive for the whole industry. You see, the investors, please do keep the abuse coming, because it says a lot more about you than it does about me. The way we measure who is watching and who is listening to programmes is completely out of touch and out of date. I had much louder than this in the European Parliament, sir. I'm disappointed. Any idea of competition, and you should shout, and you should be frightened, because you will lose your jobs, because I can tell you this, Barb is wrong, and we need reform of this system. We need, there we are. We need the heavies to come.
So, Nigel, congratulations. You were actually basically ushered off stage at that point. What happened?
Yeah, no, I mean, look, I dared to challenge the format, the established status quo, by which this 12 to 15 billion pound a year industry operates, and of course massive advertising revenues off the back of it. You know, I dared to challenge Barb, which I guess most of your viewers, Dan, haven't heard of, but this is how we measure TV audiences. The company that does it is owned by, have a guess, BBC, ITV, Sky News, Channel 4, Channel 5, and the advertising industry, and they want no outsiders to have any input or influence at all. So the whole thing is, to quote a friend of mine, it's a rigged election, it's so bad. You know, the whole thing's a joke. It's an absolute joke. And all I did was call it out and say, how in a country of 66 million people can you measure a challenger company like GB News on 5,300 boxes in people's homes? And statistically, I'm not wrong in saying that. But as Corporal Jones used to say in Dad's Army, they don't like it up 'em. They don't like it up 'em. They couldn't bear it. They couldn't deal with it. But I hope what we've done today, on the back of the massive success of our breakfast show, and indeed myself and my team with our little modest performance at 7 o'clock every evening, is we've opened up a big debate about how we measure television viewing figures. And they don't like it. But I tell you what, they're going to lose.
And Nigel, the big news is Donald Trump himself has weighed in tonight on your victory. Trump has said of you, Nigel, he truly is incredible with what he does and says everybody listens. The respect is long and deep. Your response?
Well, I'm very honoured that the 45th President of America, and indeed the 47th President of America, has weighed in behind me with support, and I'm very, very grateful to him. And you know, there's no secret, Dan, we're good friends. He's a big winner, but you know, when he came over to Turnberry the other month, the only interview he did was with me and with GB News. It says a hell of a lot, because he is going to win. He is going to win next November, absolutely.
And look, I was in the room today, Nigel. they were rattled, weren't they? There's a nervousness about what's happening with GB News because there's massive momentum behind us when we know Sly News is failing and the British Bashing Corporation is failing, not to mention woke ITV. So I guess they have reason to be worried, and probably that was also partly behind the reaction to you in the room today.
Worried? They should be scared out of their lives. They're all about to lose their jobs. I'm coming for them, as I did before in the European Parliament. Look, the whole industry had become so one-sided, so lacking in open debate. And you know what, GB News has opened the whole thing up in a most remarkable way. And we're fair, we're objective, we allow other sides of the argument to have a fair say. And what we do is really, really good. And Dan, you know what? We're here tonight. We're celebrating. Are we celebrating, guys?
Well, I'll let you guys get back to it. I'm very jealous. Enjoy the oysters. Enjoy the champagne. Thank you for interrupting award-winning presenter Nigel Farage. Brilliant stuff.